that you guys mistreated her.
Oh, mistreated.
Well, that you called her names and you threatened to throw her out and make her home.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Talent Zone Updates, your spot for the juiciest 90-day fiancé drama that keeps you glued to the screen. Imagine this, the camera is rolling in a beautiful family home, plates are still warm from dinner, and suddenly the air turns ice cold. Sheena is sitting there, eyes wide, tears already pooling as Forrest's mom Molly leans forward like a detective who just cracked the case. "You've been lying to my son for years," Molly says, voice sharp enough to cut glass. Sheena's parents freeze, forks halfway to their mouths, while Forrest looks torn between the woman he loves and the mom who raised him. The betrayal in that room. Palpable. You can feel the heartbreak exploding right on camera. If you're loving this messy, emotional rollercoaster already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a single explosive moment from Talent Zone Updates. We're diving deep today into one of the most shocking family confrontations 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 days has ever served up. Let me set the scene for you. Sheena and Forrest have been building this long-distance love story for 7 long years. She's this dedicated vet tech pouring her heart into animals and her family's bed and breakfast, while he's been saving every penny stateside just to make the trip happen. But from the jump, something felt off. Sheena had painted this picture to Forrest of a struggling family back home, parents who were supposedly draining her financially, emotionally abusing her, holding her back, even threatening her if she didn't hand over money. She told him she was barely scraping by, sending cash their way out of guilt and fear. Forrest bought it hook, line, and sinker. He worried about her constantly, wondering how he could rescue her from that toxic situation once the visa stuff kicked in. Fast forward to Forrest finally landing there, meeting her parents in person for the first time. And y'all, the vibe is nothing like the horror stories. Her folks are warm, welcoming, showing him around this gorgeous property with a pool, lush gardens, the kind of peaceful bed and breakfast that screams success, not struggle. Forrest's jaw is on the floor. He's texting his mom Molly updates, and she's already suspicious, Mama Bear mode fully activated because she's never trusted Sheena's stories. Something doesn't add up, she keeps saying. And honey, she was right. The tension builds slowly at first. Forrest sits Sheena down after that eye-opening dinner with her family and gently confronts her. "Babe, your parents seem like really good people. They're not the monsters you described. What's really going on with the money?" Sheena squirms, deflects a little, tears starting to flow. She admits she might have exaggerated, but the full explosion. That waits for Molly's arrival. Because when Forrest's mom shows up at that same family home, suitcase in hand and truth-seeking in her eyes, all hell breaks loose. Picture it. They're all gathered around the table again, Sheena, her parents, Forrest, and now Molly, who's been stewing the whole flight over. Molly doesn't waste time with small talk. She's seen the property, talked to Forrest, pieced together the inconsistencies, and she's ready to air it all out. "You told my son your family was taking advantage of you, stealing your hard-earned money, making your life miserable," Molly fires off, voice rising with every word. "But look at this place. This isn't some rundown spot barely keeping the lights on. You've been lying straight to his face for years." Sheena's face crumples. Her parents look absolutely stunned, hurt flashing in their eyes as they hear for the first time the ugly narrative their daughter had been spinning behind their backs. One parent even whispers something like, "Is this what you really think of us?" The room goes dead silent except for Sheena's sniffles. Forrest is caught in the middle, defending his girl one second and questioning everything the next. Viewers on Reddit and Instagram are losing their minds over this scene. One top comment on our 90-Day Fiancé said, "Sheena's tears feel like a manipulation tactic at this point. Every time the heat turns up, here come the waterworks to shut it down." Another fan on Instagram stories posted, "Molly came in hot but she's only saying what we've all been thinking. Protect Forrest at all costs." And listen, I have to insert a real Me Too moment here because this hits home for so many of us. How many times have you stretched the truth in a relationship, not out of pure evil, but because you were scared of losing someone. Maybe you downplayed family drama to make yourself seem more independent, or exaggerated struggles so your partner would see you as the victim who needs saving. SHEENA'S been working hard as a vet tech, supporting her family in ways that might be cultural norms we don't fully get here in the States, but instead of owning that, she built this web of half-truths. It's that relatable human struggle. Fear of judgment, fear of abandonment, fear that the raw truth might make the person you love walk away. We've all been there, maybe not on national TV, but in our own messy love lives. It makes you root for her even while you're yelling at the screen. Molly doesn't let up. She keeps pressing. You made it sound like they were monsters draining you dry. My son has been worried sick, sending money, stressing about your future together. And now we see this beautiful home, loving parents. What else have you been hiding? SHEENA finally cracks under the pressure, breaking down in ugly sobs right there in front of everyone. I lied just to cover things up, she admits through tears. I didn't want to lose Forrest. It's hard for me to save money sometimes, and I didn't know how to explain without making it sound bad. Her family looks heartbroken, disappointed, confused, like the rug got pulled out from under them. The confrontation stretches on, emotions raw and flying in every direction. Forrest tries to play peacemaker, telling his mom to ease up, but Molly's on a mission. She's protective, sure, but some fans are calling her out too. Reddit threads are split, with people saying she's crossing boundaries by inserting herself so aggressively into her adult son's relationship. Molly needs to chill, Forrest is grown. One comment read, others defend her, she's just looking out for her boy after years of red flags. The family dinner turns into full-blown therapy session without the therapist, accusations bouncing off the walls while the cameras capture every flinch, every tear, every awkward silence. Tension keeps rising as Molly points out more cracks. The timeline of money sent, the stories that didn't match what she saw with her own eyes, the way SHEENA seemed nervous even before Molly arrived. SHEENA'S parents try to stay gracious, defending their daughter while clearly processing the betrayal. You can see the love they have for her clashing with the pain of realizing she'd thrown them under the bus to paint herself as the struggling heroine in Forrest's eyes. It's heartbreaking television, real, messy, human. But here's where the story gets even more layered. Through all this, Forrest is still standing by SHEENA, even as doubts creep in. He loves her, y'all. 7 years of building something across oceans doesn't vanish overnight. Yet you can tell the trust is fractured. How do you move forward with someone who's admitted to lying about something so foundational? The immigration pressures, the financial realities of a K-1 visa, the cultural differences, it's all crashing down in that one room. We build and build through the arguments, the tears, the shocked family reactions, and just when you think the worst is out in the open, we hit that big twist, the most shocking secret saved for the very end. Because after the cameras stopped rolling on that explosive dinner and the raw apologies started flowing, whispers started circulating in the 90-day community about what SHEENA had been hiding even deeper. Turns out, the money issues weren't just about family support or covering up struggles. SHEENA had been quietly funneling cash into something she never fully disclosed to Forrest, not just helping the bed and breakfast, but covering personal debts and even some side ventures she was terrified would make her look irresponsible. And the real gut punch. Forrest later learned that some of those early, emergency, transfers he sent weren't purely for family crises the way she described, they were helping keep afloat things she was too ashamed to admit. In the aftermath, as the couple tried to rebuild, that final layer of deception came spilling out in private conversations, leaving Forrest questioning if the foundation of their entire 7-year love story was built on more smoke and mirrors than he ever imagined. It wasn't just lies to protect feelings, it was a pattern that made everyone wonder, how much of S was real, and how much was carefully curated storytelling. Phew, what a ride. This whole saga reminds us that love across borders is never simple. Cultural expectations, money stress, family loyalty, immigration fears, they collide like a perfect storm. Sheena's tears might have been genuine regret, but the damage to trust. That's gonna take real work to repair, if it even can. So tell me in the comments, do you think Forrest should run like Molly screamed, or give Sheena one more chance to come clean completely? Have you ever been caught in a lie that snowballed in your own relationship? Drop your thoughts below, I read every single one. If you're as hooked on this drama as I am, smash that like button if you want more deep dives like this, subscribe for weekly 90-day updates, and share this video with your fellow TLC addicts. Hit the bell so you're first to know when the next explosive recap drops. Thanks for hanging with me through all the tears and tension, see you in the next one. Stay messy, stay real. Bye for now.
What do you think? Comment below. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.